What's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 6 of the Eastern Michigan Eagles Dynasty. We came off a tough loss against Buffalo. It was a game we could have had. Fortunately, didn't go our way, but that's what happens in college football. And we're turning right around for a road game against the Auburn Tigers, who are 3-2. I wonder who they have played. I'm not sure. Let's see. So they beat Washington State, Arkansas State, and then they lost. They got blown out by Mississippi State, but then only lost by one score to LSU before beating Ole Miss last week. And now they play us. So it looks like we're on the wrong side of the legendary Cupcake Week that they have in the SEC. Maybe something interesting will happen. Who knows? But before we get to the game, at the end of the last episode, there was some recruiting news. We got a couple of commits, which was nice. I believe we got Dwayne Johnson, who is a guard, and a safety whose name is escaping me right now. But yeah, so let's just do a quick overview because there were a couple guys I added to this. Still same on Dan Scott. We're leading, just kind of waiting on him to commit. We still got the fullback. This receiver has yet to really do anything. We are in the lead for him though, so that's a good thing. No tight ends yet. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson committed. We're in the lead for another guard as well. We actually have a pretty significant lead. I'm not putting any points into him because we don't really need him, but if he commits, that's cool. I did offer him a scholarship. We're leading on one of our biggest targets in this cycle, which is Kevin Hughes, the center, because we really need a center, and to get a 70 overall freshman coming in would be huge. And we do have a lead, although Bowling Green and Cincinnati are very much in play for him as well. But nonetheless, we are leading. Still going after those same two defensive ends, Kyle Newby, Caleb McMillan. They're tough battles that we're in, recruiting-wise. They're both highly sought after, McMillan especially. There's, I believe it was, 4 schools after him. And then Kent State is kind of our main rival for Newby. Still going after those two defensive tackles as well. So we're leading on both of them, actually. We have more challengers in Richard Cooper's recruitment than we do in Jeremiah Wright's. But getting at least one of them would be big. I'm wondering if maybe putting the points into both of them may not be the best idea, just because I don't necessarily need a defensive tackle. But, I have 3, and they're all juniors. Or I have 4, rather. 3 of them are juniors. So 3 of them will be leaving after next year. So getting 2, honestly, wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Maybe I will try and follow through with that. But, yeah, we'll see, I guess. And then one new guy I put on here is, well, actually, I put Robert Clark on here, but then I scouted him, and I realized he was actually worse than the guy we already had on here. So I'm putting points into Antonio Barrett now because we could use some outside linebacker help. I knew we needed linebacker help. I wasn't sure which one, but then I realized that Eric Davis, who was our number 1 middle linebacker, is actually only a freshman. So he's only going to be getting better. So we do not have as pressing of a need at middle linebacker as I initially thought, just because he's going to continue to develop. So I'm decided that I was going to go after an outside linebacker. Western's got a lead on us right now, but he's got decent speed, 78, over 70 tackle. Not great in coverage, but, can't be good at everything. He is a 64 overall 2-star recruit, so you can't really expect him to be great at everything yet. But he'd be a nice add if we could get him. Zach Johnson, who I believe is a gem. Yeah. So I found him off screen between the last episode and this episode. Recruited him. Or rather, scouted him, and I'm like, that's an interesting player. 91 speed, 80 man coverage, 83 zone coverage. He'd be awesome. Our cornerback room there's a lot of guys, not a lot of great guys, but we have a lot of guys. So he'd be nice to get. Steve Flowers was a guy I was interested in initially, but we've fallen pretty far behind on him, so we're not really in play for him anymore. Stephen Blair. That is his name. That is the strong safety we got to commit at the end of the last episode. So he is going to be an Eagle. He'll be great for us. We still have a huge lead for Dylan Mackey, the 81 overall punter. Getting him would be big for our special teams, that's for sure. And then we are still in the lead for 5-star athlete Brian Thompson. I keep expecting this to change. Like, I just expect that I'm going to come in and Florida's going to be up like 2,000 on us out of nowhere. But I don't know. We're still in play for him somehow, and we're still leading on him. I don't expect that to continue. He hasn't gotten any visits yet scheduled. So perhaps when visits start getting scheduled, he'll start really favoring certain schools. But you never know. Getting him would be monstrous for us, though, because he would be an electric quarterback for us. That's what I decided I would play him at. With his 90 speed, 91 throw power. His throw accuracy is only a 78, but I think that's actually higher than Brian Matthews. I'm pretty sure his is like a 75 or something like that. So he would be awesome if we could somehow in our first recruiting cycle in this series bring in a 5-star athlete. So yeah, that is all the players. We're technically only in one battle. I don't know why those other guys, I can't think of who they were. Like the defensive tackles and them aren't listed under battles because there are multiple teams going after them. But Kevin Hughes we're in a battle for, so hopefully we can bring him in. I've scheduled a few more visits. A lot of them are still going to be later in the season, so we're not going to see them yet. As long as we're leading on Dylan Mackey, I think was his name. Yeah. As long as we're leading on him, I'm not going to need the other punter, so I'm not going to schedule that visit yet. So yeah, that is where we stand on recruiting. And with that being said, let's get on to our game against the Auburn Tigers. I liked the way the white helmets looked in the last game, so I think we'll roll with those again, but we'll change it up a little bit and go with gray pants. Auburn has a monstrous advantage over us in everything, so you already know how I'm expecting this game to go, but you never know, maybe something crazy will happen. They're not rated as highly in these things as you would expect them to be. I mean, we're right there with them in terms of points for, and we're actually ahead of them in total yards of offense and passing yards per game as well. But rushing yards, we're a little bit behind them. But then I think the big difference is probably going to be in the defense. I don't know. Even looking at that, we're not too far behind them. Granted, they're playing much tougher opponents than we are. They played number 21 in the country, LSU, I believe it was 2 weeks ago. So their best player is their punter. Interesting. And they got a good corner and a good running back. I feel like everyone we play has a good running back. And here we go. I do really like the white helmets. I kind of thought I would think they're too plain, but I do really, really like them. That guy actually looked a lot like Gus Malzahn. Or Malzone, however you pronounce it. Here we are at Jordan-Hare Stadium as the Eastern Michigan Eagles are going to be taking on the Auburn Tigers. I do not know how I expect this game to go. Just kidding. I know exactly how I expect this game to go. It's going to look similar to the, oh gosh. I can't remember which was worse between the Penn State or the Michigan State game, but it's going to be like that one, I expect. And Waller kicks it off. He didn't even get it to the end zone. Yikes. Good return by Blake Hill, but that's not exactly surprising. We do not do well on kick coverage. Oh, we love running quarterbacks. And Phil Moses can't wrap up. Ira Richards trying to run him down. He does catch him, but not before he reaches our 10-yard line. Mickey Johnson with a 57-yard rush on the first play from scrimmage. Great start. Oh, good stop. Who was that, number 40? I don't know who that was. That was a great stop, though. I thought he had a touchdown for sure. Oh, and Houston tried to meet him in the hole, couldn't quite stop him, and Melvin Sullivan punches it in finally on 3rd down for a touchdown on the opening drive. I'm just approaching this game with the mindset of, let's see if we could take away anything positive. Let's see if we can get something to look good on this team. And Cincinnati squeaks one out against Temple to hand Temple their first loss of the year. Interesting. That's a team I think we're fighting with for a recruit. I don't remember which recruit, but it is a name I remember. And Kent State gets an early lead against Ball State, who was the one team that we beat this year. So thank you, Ball State, for that.
Swanson back to return.
Swanson tries to return it. He's not really getting any blocks, but he did get by a guy. Is it just me, or does he look slower every single game? I feel like he's losing speed as the game goes, as like the season's been going on. We're going bold here. We're not going to hand the ball off on the first play like we always do. We're going to try a play action. Well, that didn't work. Oh, yes, it did. Bobby White was open. Maybe if we get him to fear our passing game right from the beginning, it'll actually open up the run game more. Phillips tries to run through him, can't quite do it. 2-yard gain. Matthews keeps it on the read option. Tries to get the first down. He does. Tough running by Brian Matthews. I keep waiting for him to get injured because we so often just run him into contact. But he hasn't yet, so. Or maybe he did. Did he get hurt? For some reason, I have this image that he got hurt like once, but I don't think that it. But he was only out for like a drive, but I'm not sure if that actually happened or not. Bobby White again. 19-yard reception. That probably like doubles his total catches on the year just in one game so far. Oh, right down the middle, it's Swanson. And he's got it, and he's in for the touchdown. Isaac Swanson, 37-yard touchdown reception off the play action. What a statement to come out after Auburn just marched down the field on us and put a touchdown on the board. Beautiful throw by Matthews, great catch by Swanson, and he was able to get in the end zone. And I'm so glad because I do not trust our goal line offense one bit. And Waller knocks in the extra point. I love those wings on the on like the shoulders of the uniforms. I'm not sure if they still have those or not, but I really like them. They're a nice touch. Fisher gets there. He's trying to fight him off, and he gets him down just short of the 30-yard line. As long as they don't take it for a touchdown, I really don't care what happens on those. One of the players is yelling, "Let's get off the field" on first down. And Jabari Jackson, I think that was, gets through for a 1-yard loss. Wow. Keeps it again. Moses. I was using Moses. I don't know if I necessarily hit him first, but we did stop him short of the line to gain. I think I'm starting to figure out what they like to do on offense. I think they might like running it with their quarterback a little bit. Did we get him? We did. Eric Davis stymies him in the backfield on 3rd down. I don't know who had the initial push there, but that was huge because he couldn't get any momentum going. And we are forcing a punt. Swanson to return. He's probably had like 2 punt returns all season. Oh my gosh. And he gets 4 yards on that one. Play action again because it's been working so well. Did not work as well that time. Matthews just keeps it and takes it for 11 yards. Cool. Phillips up the middle, gets 2 again. Oh no. I'd hit the button too late and I just fumbled it. Dang it. And that's the risk with running those triple options, unfortunately. If they can get through, they'll blow them up quick. I've never seen this play before, but I'm interested because there's a spy involved, and it's kind of a blitz as well. Oh, they just ran a triple option as well. Well, I forced them inside, but there was no one inside. And they're right back down there inside our 5, or at our 5, rather. I don't know how that didn't get called a touchdown. Oh my gosh. It looked like he fell in, but I guess not. I pretty much know they're running it. Mickey Johnson runs it in off the option. So they run a lot of option. A lot more than any other team we've faced so far. Although we faced a couple teams that liked running it with their quarterback. That is disappointing to turn the ball over like that. We finally had the momentum on our side, and we just gave it right back to them. Oh, this one's being returned by Trevor Morgan this time. Interesting. He's not much not much faster, I should say. Maybe if we actually do run the ball to start the drive, it'll really confuse him. Okay, he's fighting off defenders. Somehow he's still going. 4 yards for John Phillips. That was a hard-earned 4 yards, too. Oh, gosh. Throw it away. They got in, and they forced me to the side of the field that I couldn't go to because there were no receivers on the right side. Swanson gets it, gets the first down. 14 yards for Isaac Swanson. Big third down conversion there. I feel like his production has steadily gone up every game, and it's encouraging with him being our #1 receiver. And Chavis over the middle, he's got it. Tries to put a moon on, didn't work, but 33 yards for Jared Chavis off the play action pass. This play action pass is working really well. I don't know if it's just a matchup thing or if this is something that's going to continually work for us, but I may have to consider incorporating this a bit more. Oh, I was not paying attention. That ends the first quarter. And the Eastern Michigan Eagles are down 14-7 to Auburn. We gave up a couple big plays, being the long run on the first drive and then the fumble on our second drive. But aside from that, we've played pretty well. And Trevor Morgan gets it over the middle, 18 yards. Brian Matthews keeps it again. 6 yards, pretty good gain. If that guy wasn't there, that was a touchdown, without a doubt. Tried to get there, couldn't do it. Tight end was covered. 4th and 1. Oh, what to do? I almost feel like we have to be a little bit bold. Matthews rushes ahead. He gets it. 2 yards. Awesome. Great conversion by Brian Matthews there. Huge to keep that drive going. Now let's see if we can finish it off. John Phillips takes it up the middle for a 3-yard touchdown. And we are an extra point away from tying it back up. Great blocking up front that time. I mean, Phillips didn't encounter anyone until he was already in the end zone. And Waller does put it through to tie the game at 14. Ooh, the Red River rivalry is this week. Number 4 against number 18.
Set to return.
Breaks a tackle, and he is stopped, thankfully. I thought he was going to keep going there. It all happens so fast. It's just, it looks like our defense has a hard time like telling what's happening. He's trying to run it. Oh, we had him dead to rights and we didn't. Oh, what a hit though. Wow. We had him in the backfield. It's really disappointing we couldn't get him there. I would love to know who made the hit, but they never tell us. It was a good hit though. Laid him out. Okay. That was easy. Nice. I wasn't paying attention to the name, but someone got in there right away and basically held him up for Cronin to come in and finish him off. That was awesome. I like how Houston is trying to pump the crowd up even though we're the away team. Oh, was that a false start? Yeah, all right, all right.
Still second down.
Oh my gosh, really? He broke 2 tackles in the backfield, essentially, and then got all 15 yards that he needed. That's really disappointing because we had him. We had just gotten a false start. Things were really looking up there for a second. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's trouble. And he's in for the touchdown. You almost knew it was going to happen at some point. I felt like we had kept the running back in check a little too well. And he rips off a 37-yarder for a touchdown. And they go back up 7. I should really just stop trying to return it. I do it like out of instinct, but like with these players, I just don't think returning it's the best idea. Well, that was actually unfortunate that he caught that because we lost a yard. I did not have nearly enough time for that play to develop, unfortunately. Aside from the fumble, Matthews has thrown pretty well. He's got 1 incompletion. I'm pretty sure that was a throwaway. Oh, man. Their defense has started to show up all of a sudden. Ikaika Randall goes up and gets it over a defender. What a catch on 3rd and 11. That was a throw I would not have made unless I felt like we needed to score here. Because I do feel like we have to score here to stay in this game. Even though we are getting the ball second half, I believe, because I got to kick first. Oh, gosh. Dang it. I don't know what happened there, but when I was looking out of the corner of my eye, it looked like the defender wasn't as close as he actually was. I thought I was able to outrun him, but I was not. And again, they bust on through. Jeez, oh Pete. I have no time to throw anymore. I'm not going to lie. I don't even know if Brian Matthews can throw it far enough to get this. No, he can. And Swanson did not make a very good judgment on the ball. And we got to punt it away with a minute left on the clock. That's not ideal. Especially because I don't think our punter's that great. No one is down there. And they get to start on our side of the field, too. Oh, great. And he just throws it away. That is a win. Oh, intercept that. Quentin Williams, who I think almost had an interception in another game recently. Oh, man. That would have been awesome. We do still have 3 timeouts. If we could have somehow gotten the ball back there, we might have been able to try and string a drive together. Just stop them. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll call a timeout here. Regardless of if they kick a field goal or punt, I'm going to want the ball back. And they are going to kick a field goal. I thought they might be in range. And he does put it through to go up 10 with about 30 to 40 seconds remaining. Wow, that is a low-scoring affair. 6-0 at the half, basically. Jeez. 5 for 14. Oh, my gosh. Texas' quarterback is really struggling. If this is in the end zone, I'm just going to take the knee. Yeah, I'm not returning this. All right, see what we can make happen with 39 seconds and 2 timeouts. Matthews has a lot of room to run, and he gets out of bounds. 22-yard scramble there. We might be able to get some points on the board here. And Chavis dropped the ball. Our most dependable receiver dropped a wide open pass. That one hurt. That was at least a 10-yard gain. I thought he might have even been able to get around that safety. Could have gone for way more. Oh, gosh, again. The pass blocking's just not there. Which, I mean, I guess it's not super surprising. I mean, we are playing Auburn. They normally have a pretty good D-line, you know, especially compared to Eastern Michigan's offensive line. But still, it's hard to make anything happen. And Chavis redeems himself, brings it in. I'm going to call a timeout, even though I did get a first down there. Somehow, that ended up being an incomplete pass. Cool. that should have either been a sack or a fumble. I don't know which one, but oh man, it's that guy with the star there, end going against my right tackle. He's the problem. He's in my face every play. What? Gosh, dang it. I didn't think he was going to be able to undercut that. Screen. Stays on his feet. Is anyone going to stop him? Thank God. I was not about to give up a 50, 60-yard screen pass for a touchdown that they were just trying to run the clock out with. And at half, Auburn has a 10-point lead over the Eastern Michigan Eagles. It's not looking good. We are getting the ball second half, but we're going to absolutely have to get a touchdown. Because if we give them the ball back again, they're probably just going to go up 17 on us. The game started out so good and so promising, and then the fumble, and then having to punt it after getting sacked on like 3 plays in a row. And then throwing an interception at the end there. A lot of things did not go right. Oh my gosh, he nearly gave it right to the defender. Chavez gets the ball, trying to get to the outside, but he, like many other players on this team, are not particularly fast. So I couldn't get to the outside, but that's what I was trying to do there. Because there was a whole lot of green out there. Swanson catches the ball, good. Oh, somehow shakes off a tackle. And gets pushed out of bounds, but a huge third down conversion. He got wide open on that slant route. He got picked. That's what happened. It may or may not even be illegal, but I am not complaining. Gets by the defender. Brian Matthews is still on his feet. Pushed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. There was nobody open, at least that I could see. Maybe Chavis deep, but there were 2 guys there, so I didn't like that idea. Plus, I was on the run. Matthews pushes off a defender and keeps going for a gain of 6. I hope he's not injured. I hope it's just because number 19 is standing on him. Yeah, he's up. He's fine. Okay, good. I'm just going to run it again. Seems to be working. They're 100% expecting a run here, but I'm going to run it anyway. Okay. Phillips gets to the outside. Stiff arming a guy. Oh my gosh, he's in for the touchdown. What a run by John Phillips. He stiff armed a guy for about 8 yards on his way into the end zone. I have to watch that one again. Yeah, that's like at the 8-yard line, and he just keeps fighting and somehow gets to the corner. Unbelievable. That is the kind of run that I've been expecting out of him all season. It's great to finally see him really show that power. And we're not out of this game yet. We are now only down 3. It's a real bummer we gave up that field goal, but nonetheless, we are in this. Oh my gosh, he like squeezed through there somehow and jumped ahead for another 5 yards. Washington can't wrap up, but Davis can. Oh, I missed. I got through there, I just wasn't sure which guy to hit. Oh my gosh. Mickey Johnson or whatever. Yeah, Johnson. Rushes ahead for another 16 yards. He's over 100 yards on the game. Is that another false start? It was. Cool.
Still first down.
They've got a very undisciplined offensive line, I must say. Oh, I wanted the pick. That would have been a pick 6, but I'm glad we were able to stop them for a loss. They looked like the exact same play they converted on like 3rd and 15 with earlier. Cool. Cool. I'm glad he had 0 awareness on where the sideline was. That helped us. Screen. Oh no. I got hit. Oh my gosh. That defender decided to hurdle his blocker instead of just actually make the tackle. And Sullivan goes untouched for a touchdown. I don't know who that was, but he 100% blew that play. This guy right here. Houston, I think that is. It's either Houston or Cronin. I think it was Houston. That's disappointing. We just can't get out of our own way. And the Red River rivalry continues to be a slow-moving affair. But Texas is 100% on upset alert at this point, down 10 nearing the end of the 3rd quarter. Man, how do we give up a touchdown there again? Oh, that guy missed his block completely. I had room if that guy was able to actually stop him. Brandon Walker tried to run through a guy, but gets a nice 4-yard gain. Matthews rushes ahead for another 8. We've now rushed for 100 yards as a team. That was a bad throw. I had no business throwing that pass. That was just desperately trying to make something happen. I saw the deep safety come in, and I thought the deep route would be open, but the corner was with him the whole way. I had no business trying to make that work. Stupid decisions like that lose you football games. Can we get one back? We cannot.
Small, the intended receiver on the play.
That would have been funny. They would just giving it right back to us. Okay, third down.
Gain of 7 yards.
And they're back to running the no huddle again. Cronin got him, but just a little too late. That was a well-run speed option, unfortunately. Oh, we had a guy totally jump off sides there. Oh, it switched me to the wrong guy again. Oh my gosh. First I threw a stupid pick, and then I switched to the wrong guy and ran my guy away from the ball carrier. This game's just gone to crap so quickly. I drilled their kicker there. Didn't throw a flag, but I got in there. Oh, Texas got a touchdown.
Swanson deep to return.
I am not going to try this.
The kickoff. Phillips takes the grab. Gain of 5 on the play.
Got a lot of time on that play. The O-line did a good job. Unfortunately, all I found was the dump off to the running back. Chavis drops it again? Oh my gosh, what's happening to him?
Was the intended receiver on the play. That'll make it 30.
It's 2 today, I think. Oh my gosh. The Randall just dropped it. I understand they're not good players, but oops, that was an accident. I dropped my remote. I was so surprised, so I must have hit a button. Oh, man. I mean, it's bad enough. I know these players aren't good, but, like, come on. 2 drops that would have been big plays. Almost in a row on the same drive. That's ridiculous. Oh, missed that. Oh, I have another guy named Matthews, apparently. Just found that out. Yikes. And that's the end of the third quarter, and despite Phillips' valiant effort to put it within a field goal, my lack of ability to play this game has really impeded us as we tried to come back. We are now down 17 at the end of 3. And the running game is starting to do its normal thing to us. Aside from the quarterback, we've actually done a good job in this game with, like, suppressing the run. But I guess war of attrition and stuff gets to a point where nothing works anymore as they get in for another touchdown.
Swanson sets a return.
We're actually going to return this one. Oh. I thought it was going to do the normal thing where the guy sheds the block to the outside, but it didn't that time, and I ran into Trevor Morgan anyway. I hit the button and he didn't throw the ball. I think the Auburn band plays their fight song more than anyone else we've played in this game. I feel like I've just been hearing it all game, no matter what's happened.
The pass falls incomplete.
Okay. Randall just ran way too far. It's like he was looking for the ball, but he didn't put himself in a position to, like, beat out the other guys for the ball. They're breaking every first tackle now. I was really hoping that was going to be inbounds because I was going right to the defender. Good stop there. A little too late, but still a good play. Really? You're going to run the clock out on me? And they knock it through to go up 48-21, I believe. Oklahoma got another field goal. Their kicker is making a name for himself in that game. So as Texas tries to, I assume, try to get a touchdown as a win. I guess I don't know who has the ball, but Oh, okay. He actually broke a couple tackles that time. That was nice. Time to fling it. We're trying to get as now at this point, we're going for stats. That's all you can do when you're losing by this much. Yeah, I think I might have had a guy open deep, but I wasn't really looking deep because I just assumed they'd be covered. Yeah, that was a bad throw. Our turnover differential's not getting any better. I'm not sure if we were still the worst in the nation, but I mean, I have a feeling we probably are. We definitely are now. And Melvin Sullivan gets in for another touchdown. Just more icing on the cake for them. And ultimately we get another chance to add a few more yards to our stat line. To the house. Oh, well, he shook off one hit. That was more or less just a throwaway. I technically threw it to the running back, but I was just trying to get rid of it. It's crazy to think that we were actually in this game. I mean, really, at the beginning of the third quarter when Phillips scored that touchdown. Like, we were in it. Oh my gosh! What is that, like 5 drops today? Oh my word. These are going to be some fun stats to go through at the end of this game. Oh boy. And this is why I'm trying to recruit that one receiver. Although now that I'm seeing all of my guys dropping passes, maybe the fact he has 57 catching will actually be a huge problem. Oh gosh. Nice pass. Well, you already know we have to go for this. Yeah, that's about right. Actually, it would have been more fitting if it would have gotten picked off at this point. It's that same number 5 again that picked us off. That was the one we threw the bad pick to. That kind of like really turned the game around, I think, if I remember correctly. Because I remember particularly not liking him. Oh, Davis just stopped running. A tackle for loss. Add that to the stat sheet. In a lot of circumstances, I would be calling timeouts here, but I'm just letting them run the clock out. And that does it. Auburn drops, I'm doing math in my head really quickly, 24. 31 unanswered on us after we brought it within 3. I got desperate. I started panicking, trying to make something happen, and that turned the game around to the point of no return, unfortunately. That's what happens against good teams. We might have been more in it if this were a MAC school, but this is 88 overall Auburn or whatever they were. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was fun while we were in it, I guess. And then once things went south, they kind of stayed south. These are going to be some fun stats to go through. Brian Matthews, 13 for 32, 205 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 picks. I can't even be mad about those picks because some of those picks were bad throws by, like, me, and others were just, desperation shots, really, that, like, we'll get that, like, I wouldn't normally throw if we weren't losing by so much. So it's a little bit of an inflated number, but he did throw them nonetheless. I got sacked 3 times. That was not good. The offensive line struggled quite a bit against their pass rush. Rushing, this is probably the quietest stat sheet we've had rushing in a while. Brian Matthews had 15 rushes for 63 yards. John Phillips had 5 rushes for 28 yards and 2 touchdowns. So this was Phillips' best game in terms of yards per carry and maybe even touchdowns as well. And it was the game where he got the fewest rushing attempts. Interesting. Similar long. Brian Matthews had the fumble. That was on that triple option. I don't think I ran another triple option play after that. I think I called it, but I audibled out of it or something like that. Oh, boy. The receiving numbers. Isaac Swanson was leading receiver. Good for him. I'm honestly I'm happy to see him producing. 3 for 73 and a touchdown. And that was a nice touchdown, too, if I remember correctly. I think that was our first one. Jared Chavis, 3 for 55 and 2 drops for him, which was shocking. He's been so money for us, so dependable. And he really let us down in this one. Bobby White, 2 for 35. That's probably his biggest stat line of the whole thing so far. Trevor Morgan had 1 for 18. Akaika Randall had 1 for 14. Brandon Walker had 2 for 5. And all 3 of those guys had a drop apiece. And then John Phillips had the 1 catch for 5 yards. 5 drops for this team. And it's not like they were questionable. As in, they could have caught it, they could have not. They were brutal, brutal drops. 100% should have caught them. I think Chavis's, were actually the most. Cause I think at least one of them, he was wide open, and he dropped it. I think Randall's was similar too. That's a disappointing showing from the receivers in this game. Greg Harrison gave up a sack, and Jimmy Rogers gave up a sack. That's actually a huge problem because Rogers is our best O-lineman. But then Harrison, I think I highlighted at some point, actually, that the guy going against our right tackle, which is Harrison, was a star, and he was in my face on, almost every drop back. So it's not surprising. It's not saying who gave up the 3rd sack. It must have been a blitz or something. Defensively, Isaac Houston was our leading tackler, both total and solo. Cronin also had a lot of tackles. And then Jabari Jackson had 4, Quentin Williams had 4, and then just the rest of them kind of went down the line. When your safeties are your leading tacklers, that says a lot about what's going on. Either a lot of completions downfield and or a lot of running backs or quarterbacks in this game, I guess, getting to the 2nd, 3rd levels of the defense. Tackles for loss, Quentin Williams had 1, Jabari Jackson had 1, Eric Davis had 1. Yes, Eric Davis is a freshman, and he's our best middle linebacker at 65 overall. So while that's sad now, he could be really good in 2 seasons. Next season, he'll probably be he'll definitely be better next season. But in terms of trying to get to that next level, he'll definitely do that in 2 seasons. Brett Waller wasn't asked to kick any field goals, but he did make all 3 of his extra points. Good job. Rasheed Berg had 2 punts for 89 yards. Fine. I don't like seeing his name in the stat sheet ever because I never want us to punt. Isaac Swanson had 7 returns for 146 yards. And Trevor Morgan had 1 kick return for 20 yards. I must have called a different return because he never returns kicks normally. And then Swanson had the 1 punt return as well. So that was the stats. If I had to give a player the game, I might actually have to go back in to try and come up with something for this. Defensively, I don't know if anyone stood out enough to really give it to them. Oh my gosh. Okay. I keep pausing. I may have cut some of the pauses out, but I keep pausing, kind of thrown off by a sound. It's the sound of like the little list coming up and going away. I wasn't sure what it was. It was weirding me out. All right. So, oh man. I think I might actually give it to Swanson. He didn't do much in the return game, which I guess isn't exactly out of the ordinary. But he was our leading receiver. He did have a touchdown, a nice touchdown, might I add. And he didn't drop any passes. So I think I'll give the player of the game to Isaac Swanson. It's not necessarily because I'm like particularly excited about his performance, but like he was, I'd say, our best performer over the course of the game in that he was dependable. Eastern Michigan looks for answers after losing 55-21 to Auburn. Yeah, that sounds about right. Slipped to 1-5. We're going to have to essentially win out if we want to even try to make a bowl game. That's not exactly in my expectations at this point. Although Auburn was the last, like, significantly better opponent on our schedule, I believe. Since, like, recruits are starting to commit and stuff, I'm probably going to start advancing the week at the end of each episode, kind of like I did in the last one, because we got to see the commitments come through. Ohio is our next opponent, and then at Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois was ranked at the start of this, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure what they're doing now. Then at Toledo, home against Western. Then we get a bye, home against Bowling Green, at Central. That's how we end the year. So yeah, just a bunch of action ahead of us, so that'll be fun. Let's advance to week 8 and see if anything significant happens. I'm not surprised we lost to Auburn. It was the result I expected. But it's like particularly disappointing when it really looks like we're hanging with it. We might be able to make something happen. And then I start doing dumb things and just throw the game completely away. Because we were in it for a while. The fumble was a big turning point. We threw an interception at the end of the first half. I believe that was what led to their field goal, if I'm remembering. I know I just played it, but I can't remember certain parts. And then obviously once I got desperate and threw that one interception on a deep ball, that's when it kind of went south. But John Phillips scoring that touchdown might have been one of the most exciting plays of this whole season so far, because that was like a moment where it's like, oh my gosh, we're actually in this. I liked the play action passing too, I must say. It was working a lot. I'm definitely gonna try and do that a little more often. All right, let's see what we got here. So, Brian Thompson, who's that 5-star athlete, I believe. He's listed as a receiver, but it's not what we'll be playing him at, unless we decide to get creative. And then Steve Flowers locked us out. We weren't really going after him. We're still in a battle with Hughes, McMillan, still in a battle. I don't think we were going after White. Yeah, we weren't going after any tight ends. We're in a battle with Kyle Newby still. Oh, Morrison committed to Oregon State. We weren't really going after him. And then Eric Johnson and then that punter are ready to visit. So no big news. So that means we may or may not see anything recruiting-wise. I just plan on showing recruiting stuff if, like, you know, something significant happens. Like when we got all those commits at the end of the last episode, I knew that the recruiting board was going to shift quite a bit. But, like, I mean, I got a couple points to distribute still, 350 points. Yeah, I can't do a whole lot with that, so I may not show anything unless there's a battle that, like, has significantly changed or something like that. But, yeah, aside from that, I'll probably just be showing recruiting stuff whenever I deem it, like, noteworthy, I guess. All right, that's going to wrap up this episode. Thank y'all so much for joining me once again. I promise we'll start winning games eventually. Maybe not this season, but hopefully we'll be able to sneak out a couple more against some MAC opponents, because we did beat Ball State, and then we were in that Buffalo game for a while. So I think we can string a few wins together, maybe finish around the 500 mark. We'll see. But again, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a lot of fun to do, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Later, y'all.